The week Prince Harry thought would quietly pass exploded into something so brutally humiliating, so publicly unraveling that even Meghan Markle, staying miles away, couldn't stop the fallout. And just when everyone thought King Charles had finally shut the door for good, something happened behind palace walls that nobody saw coming.
King Charles and Queen Camilla have hosted Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and their children Archie and Lilibet at their Highgrove residence today.
I'm sorry, but I have to say this is a win for Harry and Meghan, no matter how we take it apart. The optics are all there.
Harry is starting to wake up. Meghan is, in many ways, the smoking gun. Prodigal prince, a runaway son who is sad and suffused with regret. Beginning of the end of their marriage. It didn't have to be this way.
Meghan and Harry understand they are in the last chance saloon. Harry has just lost a very great deal of money, and Charles doesn't want to rescue Harry. Charles wants Harry to rescue himself. Everything about Prince Harry's return to the UK felt wrong from the very beginning. The timing, the silence, the absence of Meghan Markle. It didn't feel like a royal visit, it felt like a test, a final test. And the most chilling part? King Charles wasn't rushing to save Prince Harry anymore. King Charles was watching, waiting, letting Prince Harry fall publicly.
This psychodrama, papers reporting this morning that King Charles finally refused to be pushed around by Harry and indulged in the constant state of chaos amongst this ridiculous accusation that they asked him to stay. He said no.
What you're looking at on that balcony is a slimmed down monarchy, a lean, mean fighting machine, a monarchy fit for the future, a modern monarchy that doesn't need or want Harry. Everyone said this was the week Prince Harry would finally be humiliated for good. The palace slammed the door on him, the court slammed the door on him, and his own brother wouldn't even cross 12 mi of London to see him. Prince Harry wasn't just excluded, Prince Harry was erased. A monarchy moving forward without Prince Harry, without Meghan Markle, without any need to even pretend reconciliation was possible. And Prince William? Silent. Completely silent. That silence wasn't accidental. That silence was a message. But here's where it gets unsettling. Because while the world was laughing, criticizing, tearing Prince Harry apart, King Charles was doing something else entirely. Something quiet. Something hidden.
If you were to ask me on Monday afternoon whether I thought this meeting would take place, I would have told you absolutely no chance. And then by Tuesday, when the King had publicly attacked one of the King's Council judges following that High Court judgment, in this case against the Mail, I would have thought absolutely not again.
Something that would make every single headline from this week look almost irrelevant by Friday night. But first, let's talk about exactly how bad it actually got, because you need to understand the full collapse before you understand what happened after it. And the collapse? It wasn't slow. It was immediate, brutal, almost surgical.
Even by Meghan Markle and hopeless Harry's dismally low standards, this has been an extraordinarily disastrous week, during which the increasingly pathetic prince destroyed what little was left of his fast diminishing reputation.
It started with a room, a simple offer from a father to a son. Stay at Buckingham Palace, bring your wife, bring your children, come see me. Harry said no. Then days later, he changed his mind and said yes. That moment, Prince Harry saying no first looked small, but it wasn't. It was everything. Because when Prince Harry came back with a yes, the door had already started closing.
By deliberately mucking them around till the 99th hour, he refused the invitation in writing. Then, having refused it, he decided to capriciously change his mind.
But by then, it was Saturday. And when the answer finally came back from the palace, it was one word: too late. The staffing had already been reassigned. The security plans had already been dismantled. By the time Harry actually landed in London, he was completely alone. Alone in a city that used to belong to Prince Harry. No Meghan Markle, no Archie, no Lilibet. Just Prince Harry walking into a reality that no longer had space for him.
Child, not
for your multi-room palace with many staff. You can prepare beds at short notice.
The door was open last week, and on Saturday, Harry said, "I do not want to come to your house."
That's right.
No Meghan beside him, no Archie, no Lilibet. Just a 5-day itinerary, a security detail he'd fought a losing legal battle for, and a hotel room in a city that used to be his home. And then, almost immediately, it got worse. And it did. Fast.
The Duke of Whining is said to be so paranoid right now that he claims he may even be the victim of a terror attack. And so he has decided London is not safe for Meghan, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet.
Tuesday came, and with it a high court verdict Harry had spent nearly $80 million chasing over the course of years. He called the ruling a complete and obvious whitewash. The judge called his claims unproven, insufficient, built on suspicion rather than evidence. I think you've got to look at two things. I mean, the judge has been remarkably brave, because to punch Harry on the nose so violently, and although he hasn't called him a liar, implies that he didn't believe a word of his evidence, was brave in the normal way of things. Prince Harry didn't just lose. Prince Harry was dismantled in court, in public, in reputation. And it didn't stop there. Elton John, Liz Hurley, Doreen Lawrence, all tied to the same loss, all collapsing together, 80 million gone just like that. And then came the next crack. Invictus, the one thing Prince Harry still had left, the one thing even critics respected, started slipping. Sponsors leaving, Boeing pulling out, funding disappearing, board members resigning overnight. It didn't look like coincidence. It looked like a chain reaction. One loss triggering another, one failure exposing another. And suddenly, Prince Harry wasn't just struggling, Prince Harry was unraveling. Publicly, loudly, irreversibly, commentators weren't holding back anymore. They weren't whispering. They were saying it out loud. Prince Harry had lost everything. The court, the support, the trust, the narrative. And King Charles? Reportedly done. Completely done. A father watching his son spiral and choosing not to intervene. A monarchy choosing distance over damage control. A brother, Prince William, choosing silence over reconciliation. And that silence, it grew louder every single day Prince Harry stayed in London. No meeting, no acknowledgement, nothing. By Thursday night, the picture was almost painful to look at. Prince Harry, once central, once powerful, reduced to a hotel room, a failed case, and headlines that felt like an obituary. A prince without a place. A son without access. A brother without contact. Everything pointed to one ending. Final, permanent, unfixable, and yet something shifted. Quietly, unexpectedly, and the most dangerous part, it didn't happen in public. It didn't happen in front of cameras. It happened where nobody could see it. And that's exactly why it matters. Because when everything looked finished for Prince Harry, something behind closed doors began to rewrite the story. And just when the entire world had already decided the ending for Prince Harry, King Charles quietly changed the setting of the story, and suddenly, everything everyone thought they understood started to feel incomplete, almost manipulated. Because Friday didn't look like the rest of the week. Friday didn't look like failure. Friday looked hidden. A private location. No cameras. No announcements. No carefully staged royal optics. Just Highgrove House King Charles's personal space. Far away from Buckingham Palace, far away from press briefings, far away from the noise that had swallowed Prince Harry all week. And inside that silence, Prince Harry walked in again. But this time, Prince Harry wasn't alone. Meghan Markle appeared. Archie appeared. Lilibet appeared. After days of absence, after security fears had supposedly kept Meghan Markle away, after London had been completely avoided by Meghan Markle, suddenly Meghan Markle was there, not in public, not in the city, but exactly where King Charles was waiting. And that shift, that sudden reappearance, it didn't feel accidental. It felt timed. It felt calculated. Or maybe it felt necessary. Because for the first time in 4 years, King Charles stood face to face with Archie and Lilibet again. The same Archie and Lilibet who had been missing from royal life since 2022. The same Archie and Lilibet who had grown up almost entirely outside the reach of King Charles. 4 years of silence. 4 years of distance. 4 years of birthdays, Christmases, milestones gone, and suddenly compressed into one afternoon. No photographers, no official portraits, no proof. Just a moment that either meant everything or meant nothing at all. And that's where the questions start getting uncomfortable. Why now? Why would King Charles, after a week where Prince Harry had lost a high court battle, lost credibility, lost public support, lost sponsors, lost ability open the door at the exact moment when Prince Harry looked weakest? Why would Meghan Markle stay away during the public humiliation but arrive exactly when cameras disappeared? Why would Archie and Lilibet appear only when there was nothing to gain publicly? Some royal watchers called it damage control, a carefully timed emotional reset, a way to bury a disastrous week under something softer, something human, something impossible to criticize without looking cold. But here's the contradiction no one can ignore. If this was strategy, it was invisible. No press release pushing it, no images circulating, no controlled narrative being sold. In fact, the palace did the opposite. The palace stayed quiet, which raises a far more unsettling possibility. What if this wasn't about public image at all? What if this was something King Charles chose personally, not as a monarch, but as a father, and more dangerously as a grandfather? Because King Charles didn't invite Prince Harry to Buckingham Palace this time. King Charles didn't involve the institution. King Charles opened the doors of Highgrove, his private home, his personal world. No advisors controlling the moment. No palace staff shaping the optics. Just King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Archie, and Lilibet sitting in a space where titles mattered less than blood. And suddenly, the entire narrative of the week started to fracture. Because everything that had defined Prince Harry's collapse, the court loss, the 80 million gone, the Invictus sponsors pulling out, the silence from Prince William, the distance from Queen Camilla, the rejection from the institution, none of it stopped King Charles from letting Prince Harry back in. Not publicly, but personally. And that distinction changes everything. Because Prince William still didn't show up. Prince William still didn't speak. Prince William remained completely absent, reinforcing a divide that now feels deeper than ever. Queen Camilla was present, but quiet. And Meghan Markle still never stepped into London, still avoided every camera, still controlled every appearance down to the second, which leaves one final uncomfortable pattern. Public chaos, private access, public rejection, private reunion. It doesn't cancel each other out, it coexists, and that's what makes this story impossible to settle. Because if this was reconciliation, it was incomplete. If this was strategy, it was too subtle. If this was manipulation, it was perfectly timed. And if this was genuine, then it raises the one question nobody inside that palace is answering. What happens next? Because one afternoon at Highgrove doesn't erase 4 years of damage. One meeting doesn't rebuild trust with Prince William. One quiet moment doesn't fix what Meghan Markle and Prince Harry broke with the institution. But it also doesn't disappear. It happened. After everything collapsed, after every door seemed closed, King Charles still opened one. And now the entire world is left watching, waiting, trying to understand whether that door was the beginning of something or just another moment in a pattern that keeps repeating itself: collapse, silence, return, and then collapse all over again. And this time, the stakes feel different, because this time, even the silence feels planned.